Good evening, everyone. Here is a allowed date. I don't know what time at your place. As I promised you that we are going to go viral, I'll be taking you with a very high speed. And I promised you some times back that I'm going to share with you some of the factors or some of the things that you might be burning of knowing how to arrange your house, how to cook food of different nations. You might be very, if you are someone who loves just to do experiment in life, so this is the channel to be anyway, because we are going to learn so many things, not only cooking, not about homemaking, not only about home makeovers, but we are going to learn also things about children, relationships, friendship. We are going to go from one level to the other. But as I promised you, that we are going to I'm going to talk of the factor and to consider when you are planning or before you prepare a meal. And before that, there is a good thing that will make someone who want to learn how to prepare meals in your house to know. One thing is that there are people who, it's good that you learn yourself to be organized. There are people who just does not know that the one thing that you make your life very easy is when you learn to organize your days from Monday to Friday. That you don't just wake up, or you just come from a place of work, or maybe you're not the one who is preparing the meal, and you may have a house helper or a house manager. But all in all, it is very good for the family members, the people who will eat the food, to be always aware of. One day or 2 days or more to know what we are going to eat, at least tomorrow. Or your family, I think your family will appreciate when they know, like, this week I'm expecting to eat fish, chicken, or what you cook. So whether you are single or what kind of relationship you are in, even if you are alone, you are making meal only for yourself, I think you not only easen your day, you will also easen, you'll save time, and you will save money. Because one thing I do when I realize that, when I started planning, budgeting what we're gonna eat the whole week, one thing I realized, I save money. Because this thing of learning to the shop every day, it attracts many to buy, to do impulse buying. But when you have a list of what you have to buy that fit for every meal, from breakfast to the evening meal, that is dinner, it will help you to budget, and you will be able to know at least how much you eat every week and every month. And it may be, if you have some children like me, some things like drinks depends on the temperature. We might become more or less depending on whether the family is home. Like You will understand the days that children, they have vacations or holidays, or during the weekend when their children are out of the school. The food consumption might rise. So it is very good for you to plan every day what you gonna spend for the food. I'm going to put some light because I'm going to the kitchen to check my tea. So fall with me. Don't mind. Just check aloud what you see. Don't mind. This is not a secret home. The house is well organized, so we have nothing to hide. So I was telling you that I learned that I save money, time, and the other thing, I reduce stress because I can even manage. Like the place where I'm settled, we don't have house helpers. So I learned, even I was able to cook, to prepare some food and store them in the fridge, or some even I can freeze them, and then I don't need to cook or to prepare each and every meal every day. So one thing we have learned that by planning what you're gonna cook or what you're gonna offer, the meals you are going to offer to your family each and every day, or weekly or monthly, you are going to save time of learning to the shop, to do shopping, and sometimes you impulse buy. You'll avoid impulse buying. Save money, impulse buying, it will reduce stress, because when you know, like, there is nothing that stress a mother, because children often, they'll not to turn to their father to ask them what they'll eat. They always turn to the mother or a house helper if they have a house helper. But for me, my children, they always turn to me, and they are very eager to know. So I even went a stage ahead. To light, you can use a piece of paper, or you use a small whiteboard just to light for the family members so that they know where to check the meals. Or you can just print them out and then stick them on the door of your fridge. Then Monday, this one, Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So they'll be very free. They'll be quite aware, because the house is not yours alone. Each and every member of the household has the right to be included on what is happening. The communication, one way, but one thing, by doing so, you are communicating. So to avoid children start wondering what they're gonna feed, whether there is a meal tomorrow, or what they're gonna eat. So you just communicate by writing down the list of the meals, of the list of the meal that you are going to take that week. And then things isn't for you. So one thing that we have learned, that not only save money, there are so many things that you have by just that doing that is easy plan, you have solved like 5 problems at a go. Then we come to, now you have written a list of what you are going to buy. And the story does not end there, because there is some other factors you are going to consider before you make that decision, that this is the kind of food I'm going to cook this day or this week. And the kind of factor that you are going to consider the age of the people who are eating that meal. If they are small children, you might not be able, the food may not contain so much spice. Old people and the toddlers, they tend to behave the same way. So you have to include, before you choose what to eat, include the age. Consider the age of the people you are going to serve food for. Of course, even when you are doing, when you are cooking food for the business, that is a factor you should include. And I've seen such mistake being made, even where I work, that people who, maybe you are preparing food for the patient. Not all patients were born, they are Gen Z. Some patients, they are as old as 90. So the food that may fit for a 90 years old cannot fit for a Gen Z. Neither can it fit for a generation Alpha. So you have so many things to consider, because first thing you should know that we eat with the eyes. The way we drive with the eyes, the way we eat with the eyes. So the way you are going to arrange your food to represent your food on the table, it either bring forward the appetite, or it will just make people appetite loss. So consider some of these small things when you're making your meals. Then, of course, the environment. When you're preparing the food, which kind of environment? And this is where we consider how your kitchen look like. The environment need to be, there is something we call it in the language which I talk, ethic, that it's all about how things look allowed. It's your kitchen where you share your meals with your family, all the business where you have a hotel and whatever. Is it attractive? Is it attracting the eyes even before we go deep? The moment I enter in your kitchen, in your dining room, will my eyes be focused to, will my eyes attract me toward your dining room, or it's just like, what a place? So it is good to consider that point very well. How you represent your food, the colors. Try to make food that are more colorful, that you try to balance. Those people who work in medical, you know what I talk, that a complete meal, it does not, a healthy meal does not include 50%, 80% carbohydrate, 10% vegetables, and maybe 1% protein. That is a meal which is unproportional, unhealthy. We know a good meal, it should include maybe 30% carbohydrate depending. And if it's an old person who does not work and need a sick person, depending on the age of that person too, you need to consider how much carbohydrates. You know, we have a problem with obese. We have problem with overweight in the world, in the whole world. People are getting overweight and overweight. So make sure that your meal contain